The streets of a normally bustling business corridor in San Francisco are empty. Bars, restaurants, and shops are taking direction from the state to close their doors, which means no money is being made. For example, the owner tells me that her third-generation family-owned business, Cafe Trieste, hasn't closed for more than a day since they opened back in 1956, with two exceptions, both family funerals. So their employees are now at home filing for unemployment. In the meantime, some businesses that are able to get creative using technology are taking their services online. To learn more about what they're doing to cope and what support is needed, we are now joined by Daniel Macchiarini. He's the president of the North Beach Business Association. Thanks for talking with us, Daniel.
Hey, how you doing this afternoon?
As good as we can be, just coming here to work to let people know to stay at home, which is certainly impacting businesses across our region. But what have North Beach business owners been coming to you with as their top concerns right now?
Well, top concerns that I've interacted with, which is very briefly because we're not supposed to be outside at all, are basically that we're closed down. And the normal street traffic is almost like a ghost town up here in North Beach. And so a lot of the concerns, we've taken a couple of actions from the North Beach Business Association. One is we're working directly with the Supervisor Peskin's office, and we've put out information to all of the businesses through our website and our social media, to all the businesses up here about how they can apply for federal and government assistance, everything from moratorium on evictions to small business resiliency fund and revolving loan fund for emerging business loans and sick leave for their themselves and their employees. The second thing we're doing is we're making a list of all businesses up here that are continuing with some kind of out service, like Original Joe's, where you can take out meals and trying to supplement what's happening in terms of the closure of the restaurants and the services there themselves. The retail businesses are really hurting up here and are completely closed down, including mine, which is a legacy business. The last thing we're doing is that we're part of the Central District Council of Merchants, which is a 33 merchant organization throughout San Francisco, and they have a GoFundMe site set up specifically to aid not only North Beach businesses, but also businesses throughout San Francisco. And that's a very important thing that we're actively working on it while we can't operate our businesses.
And what challenges are unique to keeping North Beach businesses afloat? I've heard that maintaining that area to be true to its Italian heritage has been tough over the last decade in general because the small businesses that make up the culture, like bakeries, for example, can only sell so much of a low-cost product to make their rent.
That's true, and we've been working on also Proposition D, which passed by 70% in San Francisco, in order to make sure that all of the storefronts up here are put on the market and lower the rents up here for a normal market. And that was a success we just had recently, not only here, again throughout San Francisco. So what a lot of the challenges are in relationship to finding spaces that are affordable in order to maintain a small business. And that's one of the main ones in general. But the COVID virus has basically thrown another major and distinct monkey wrench into our progress. We have had significant comeback up here until this event. We had 20 new businesses open up here in the last year, based upon our work to bring new businesses to the area. So we've had a bit of a comeback until this setback.
And so you mentioned that you've spoken with Supervisor Peskin, who maintains that district area. And what has he said about the resources that you guys discussed and what's available right now? Because I know that there were a lot of propositions in the works, both on the city, state, and federal level. But what is immediately available?
Well, in terms of immediate availability, is information on the moratorium on evictions for small business and mid-sized businesses immediately from the Office of Economic Workforce Development website. And there's a way to apply up there for the Resiliency Fund, the small businesses receiving loan funds and the emerging business loan fund. There's preliminary info on paid sick leave extensions and points of contact for assistance from the Office of Labor Statistics and Enforcement and the Office of Small Business. And that is available right now at the Office of Workforce Development website.
What would you like to see better done in providing resources to businesses and their employees on all levels of government?
Oh, well, I have an immediate idea about this COVID virus relief. I think what should happen, this is my personal opinion, is that there should be rent forgiveness to all small businesses in North Beach, actually throughout the city, and that the city should give landlords a property tax relief in relationship to all businesses they give rent relief to, and that the revenue that would have been recovered from the property taxes should be given by the federal government in an emergency situation that we're in, so that the city doesn't get killed economically either. And that's my personal opinion. It's not an organizational opinion, but that I think that could happen right away. And that would, and particularly since there are taxes coming due as of April 10th to the landlords, and that could happen right away. That would help small businesses immediately with a rent moratorium, and not a loan, but a forgiveness. One, in terms of the duration of this shutdown.
The way that the moratorium is happening right now, does it mean that basically these businesses can't be evicted, but do they eventually have to pay that rent to their landlords? Is that the idea?
My understanding is that is the case, and that will drive a lot of businesses, not only in North Beach, but throughout San Francisco under. If they have to assume debt based upon zero income and complying with what we need to do in order to save lives in terms of this virus, to punish small businesses like that and to burden them with a long-term debt, in my opinion, is not acceptable.
How many business owners have already come to you saying that at this point they're considering to shut down forever?
I don't have a count on that. And that's very anecdotal at this point. It's only been about a week that we've been completely shut down here, so I don't want to give you false information.
So hopefully nobody at this point is resorting to those extreme terms and they can stay afloat. But what advice is your association giving these businesses at this time?
What I outlined to you in terms of the 2 points that we are working on directly is we're telling them that we're trying to bring aid to them in relationship both to working with Supervisor Peskin's office and the Office of Workforce Development and the Small Business Commission to try to bring direct aid to them, and that they have to hold on at this time before we develop more programs to make sure their businesses can be sustained.
Definitely hope that it is too soon to even talk about giving up. Thank you so much, Daniel Macchiarini. The best to you as a business owner yourself and your association.
Thank you for your time.
You're watching Kron, the Bay Area streaming news 24/7.